What is going on, everyone? This is Connor, your co-host with the most, back with week number 13. Other way around. 13. No, other way.
Yeah, no, you got it right the first time.
13 on the longboard. I have both Zach and Eric on here with me, so it's good to have the whole crew on here for this one. I know I missed the last episode because of something, and then of course we didn't record last week because of Thanksgiving. But we did make picks. If you follow our Twitter, I posted it there. So overall, pretty good week this past week. Zach and Eric both with 5 points. I came out with 7. So it's always unfortunate when there's a close week like this, and it means I have the last pick now. But I'll take my 7 points. Eric is still in the lead currently with 49 points, and Zach and I are tied 5 points out of first place with 44. Seems like Zach and I need to start getting it. I had an alliance with Eric there for a little bit, but now I gonna start getting the lines going with that. My cat is like, hello, I want to be in the video. So very quickly, since we didn't record last week, this was for everyone watching. You can quickly take a screenshot of this. This was our week 11 picks. You can see a lot of bad things happening
was
here.
Not good.
This is the week that, from the episode that got recorded before. And yeah, Zach and I both got 0, so that sucked. Eric did get 3 points. He had 2 greens, but one of them was a 1-pointer. So very poor week. Maybe it's a good thing we didn't talk about this.
Yeah.
But this is the current week here. A lot more green happening here. 50% as a crew, 6 for 12. So, I think anytime we kind of get over 40%, I think we're doing good. So I had the first pick. Unfortunately, my first pick, I thought Justin Fields was going to play. Turns out he didn't, and it ended up being Trevor Siemian, and the Bears got completely destroyed by the Jets in that game. Fields is going to be back this week just in time to not help me on the lock board. So, but yeah, that was a bit, you never want your number one pick to be a blowout, and unfortunately, that's kind of what happened there. But then my second pick was the Titans over the Bengals. That also was wrong. That was a close game. The Bengals ended up pulling it out at the end. I didn't get to watch it, but I saw it was a 4-point game, like 20-16. So that was a bit unfortunate. But I did get 2 picks right. I got my Steelers over the Colts. I finally get to pick my Steelers for something good, and they do it right. Offense looked a lot better. They kind of let the Colts back in the game in the second half, but the defense stepped up big, and Matt Ryan wasn't able to do anything. And then kind of a shot in the dark that I took here at the end. I did this last year also, and maybe I just need to keep doing this every year because I picked Michigan over Ohio State for the second year in a row, and for the second year in a row it worked out, and I got it right. And unless USC loses, Ohio State might be out of the playoff now. So I need to keep doing that because it has been working out. So
yeah.
7 for me. I also
hasn't worked when we pick against Clemson, but it's been working for Connor going against Ohio State and Bama. So
yeah, we need to keep doing that. Maybe we can get this in the future. But now with the 12-team playoff happening, it's very unlikely they're probably going to miss in the future. But
no, yeah.
Zach, tell us how your week went.
Yeah, so my first 2 picks started out good, unlike Connor here. I got my first 2 rounds correct. He actually saved me by picking the Titans over the Bengals. I was going to pick that game, but the ones I got right. Also, I broke the curse of the 2 city teams with the Browns beating the Buccaneers. So I got 3 points from that game. That was an overtime game. As I was watching that, because I kind of watching that on the side, and I thought Tampa was going to win it. They kind of blew it at the end from what I saw. So I was kind of lucky to get those. Also kind of lucky to get the Oregon State points. That was a big comeback against Oregon that they had.
Thanks a lot, Oregon. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, we were watching that one. That was a big comeback. But then, had some other blown leads in my losses. Cleveland over Milwaukee in basketball. That was the one, the Cavs had a chance to win that game. They were up by double digits and lost. And then I picked UCF over UCF. Definitely a homer pick there, I will admit. But, rivalry games, you throw out the records. And, I don't know what the spread was. I know USF definitely covered the spread in that game. But they didn't get the win, which is what I really wanted. But, that was my 5 points.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, especially there at the end when the UCF decided that they were going to kick a squib kick there with like 20 seconds left and send the ball in the 50, we were all just like, "What?"
I think it was actually an onside kick.
Yeah, it was something like.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, it gave USF the ball on the 50 instead of giving it to them on like the 20 or 25. Like I was like, what in the world are they doing? Like they tried to lose that game.
Yeah, they did.
For
sure.
They tried to give Zach some points.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, for me, I played my hand when talking to Zach earlier. I was next to him. We were all in Tennessee, and I was making my weekly picks, and I was like, I think I'm going to take the Bucks over the Browns. But then I was like, do you know what the weather's going to be like? He's like, oh, it's probably going to be pretty cold. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take the Browns. So then Zach took the Browns over the first round before me. I was going to take that, but that was my number one pick. But I never give away your hand. That's a bad strategy there, which I did. So, but I did still get my first pick right. I went in the NBA. I took the 76ers over the Magic. The 76ers were pretty banged up, which is why the Magic were favored. But the Magic, they just struggled a lot, and Paolo's been in and out. So I was still pretty confident with that one, and I hit that. My second pick was Louisville over Kentucky and football. With Kentucky struggling so bad, and Louisville had been playing fairly well, I thought I was easily going to get that, but Louisville did not look good at all. So that was disappointing to not get. And then my other NBA game I got right was the Zach's Trailblazers over the New York Knicks. Definitely wild game and kind of back and forth at the end in the last few minutes. I guess when you have a close game, they call that a sweat. I was definitely sweating this one out, but Portland won in overtime. And then I like the guys on their last picks with a 5-point pick. I took Baylor over Texas. I thought I wasn't super confident in that, which is why I saved her for the end. But out of all the 5-pointers, I did like that one the best, but it didn't happen either. So Connor was the only one with a 5-pointer right there. But I still got 5 points. Can't complain. To get a 5-point week and then get the first pick in the next week, that's usually not going to be a bad thing. So I'm happy that I have the first pick because there's not very many picks I like overall. So I'm glad I get to go first.
Well, hey, you know what, Eric? If you're thinking about trying to snipe me, then you might want to go ahead and take that LSU over Georgia game. So I'm totally thinking of taking that.
Did you peek at my board? My board's not even on the camera. How did you see that?
So like Eric alluded to, he's got the first pick. Zach with the second pick. I've got the last pick. So got a good board here. One thing that definitely is different on this board this time for the first time all year, because we're at the end of the college football season. We do have, normally when we do college, we only do the top 25, but this time around, there are non-top 25 teams. It's conference championship week, so all 10 conference championships will be available to pick, as well as our usual NFL and NBA. So, Eric, where are we going with pick number 1?
I will take the Tennessee Volunteers to not lose this week. I feel pretty confident about that one right there, but it's not on the board though, so I can't take that. No, but in all seriousness, I'm going to go to the NFL with my first pick. This is going to be a battle between two very good teams, but I feel like it's more of a toss-up, so I'm going to take this. I like it as a 3-pointer. I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins to beat the San Francisco 49ers. Both teams are pretty hot right now, but I think Miami's been especially hot. Tyreek Hill got a little banged up, but he's supposed to be good to go. So I don't necessarily like that Miami has to travel across the country, but overall I like that pick pretty well, and I wanted to make sure to get that first.
Well, so far Eric has not spiked me. Let's see if Zach snipes me with number 2.
Yeah, I might. I have a feeling I might with this, but I will take maybe a shock to some, but I'm going to take UCF to beat Tulane, 3-pointer, the only college 3-pointer. Obviously, UCF beat them in the regular season. I kind of feel like they're just the better team, as much as I hate to say it. I know it's going to be at Tulane, but yeah, I just feel like UCF has the more experienced team, and I think they're going to get the second win this year.
Well, Zach did not snipe me. I was considering that maybe for a later pick, but that wasn't my first pick. No, so because he's actually going to play this week, I'm going with the Chicago Bears over the Green Bay Packers. Justin Fields is actually going to play, so I feel like the Bears at home. Aaron Rodgers has owned them for a long time, but the Bears are starting to get that offense is starting to get good. The Packers are a total dumpster fire this season, so. I don't know
so you cannot put Chicago over Chicago, sir.
I'm not sure what I was doing there, but yeah, give me.
We were all together last week for our picks in Tennessee, and Connor tried to give himself 30 points on a 3-pointer. And I'm like, sir, you cannot do that.
Well, hey, even if I had put 30 on that, I still wouldn't have gotten it because the Jets won. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. So, all right, okay.
All right.
So back to me. There's a 3-pointer I like in the NBA. I'm going to go ahead and take that as well. I'm going to take the Indiana Pacers to beat the Utah Jazz. The Jazz started off pretty hot, but they're still doing fairly well, but they've definitely come back down to earth a little bit. Pacers are playing a lot better than everybody expected, so I'm going to hope the Pacers can steal that one for me.
Yeah, definitely. That was definitely looking at that one. I thought that could be a good pick. But Zach, where are we going with your second pick?
All right, with this next pick, I'm going to go to a pretty important college game. I'm going to take Kansas State to beat TCU. I think they had a 20-something point lead the first time they played and ended up blowing it. I don't think they're going to make the same mistake. Obviously, they know not to take TCU lightly or anything. I just think that, Kansas State's a really, really good team, and TCU, I just don't think they're going to have a perfect season going into the playoffs. I've never thought that. I've always thought they were going to lose a game. I thought it would be Texas a few weeks ago, but now it's got to be Kansas State. So.
Yeah, that was not on my radar. I think TCU, they're fighting for their life. They want that playoff spot badly, so it definitely should be a good game. Now, I'm going to go to the NFL with my second pick, and unfortunately, this is going to, Eric always talks about this in the NBA when he's going to piss off Zach when he picks some of these picks. This is going to piss both of you off. I'm taking the Lions to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Lions are at home. The Lions have been hot. I know.
Read between the lines, Connor. Read between the lines.
I know the Jaguars are coming off that win over the Ravens, but the Lions are super hot right now. And there's potential. I don't know if it's going to happen for this game, but I know there's potential this season that Jameson Williams could get activated as well. So give me Detroit.
Well, might as well go ahead and mark that one red.
I feel like you picked Detroit a lot. Has Detroit ever worked out for you on the lock board? I
don't think so, but I think they did once, but it hasn't really panned out.
Yeah, they worked out for me. They worked out for me when they beat the Packers, but
I will say now that I've done that, I just know that Eric's going to come back and pick the Falcons over the Steelers probably, but
No, I've thought about that, but I've got something else I want to get that I like. It's on my board here, so like Zach always says, stick to the board. Connor actually scared me a couple seconds ago because he clicked on it, and I thought that's what he was about to pick. But then when he said NFL, I was like, okay, I'm good. I'm taking the Denver Nuggets to beat the Atlanta Hawks in the NBA for a 2-pointer. Nuggets have been starting to get it together here lately, whereas the Hawks, I think they're a good team, but for whatever reason, they've been pretty down lately. They've lost a majority of their last few games, so even though Denver's on the road, I like their chances to go in there and get me a couple more points. Oh, hello.
All right, Zach, where are we going with pick number 2 of the 3rd round?
All right, so with this pick,
Connor, it kind of looks like he wants to kill you. His face was not happy there.
I'm definitely not the most educated on these two teams here, but I'm going to pick Coastal Carolina to beat Troy as a 5-pointer. I got to make up some ground on Eric, like Connor talked about. The standings.
No, you don't need to do that.
I feel like that, I need a 5-pointer. I don't love a lot of them, but that one's kind of interesting to me. So I definitely think they've got a chance. I don't know what Connor, who knows the Sun Belt pretty good, the fact that he didn't pick that scares me a little bit, but
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. The reason why I didn't pick it was because Coastal Carolina has been looking kind of weak the past. I mean, they got blown out by James Madison last week.
Yeah,
And-
that's what hindered me from picking that.
And the
when I
other
saw
thing,
that.
the other thing for which I mean, if James Madison wasn't like not eligible this year, they would be in the game instead of Coastal Carolina.
Yeah.
The other thing for Troy is that like their only 2 losses this year were against Ole Miss and like that freakish Hail Mary against App State. They haven't lost since that, so
yeah.
and it's going to be at Troy, so that's why I didn't pick it. I did like consider it originally. I was like, oh, maybe I should take this, but then I like kind of looked at that and I was like, nah, I don't really want it. So this is certainly interesting here. I'm going to go for a 2-pointer and the NBA, and I'm going to go ahead and take the Charlotte Hornets to beat the Washington Wizards. The Hornets they've started to get a little bit back together after being on that huge losing streak. So I know like hopefully at some point we should be getting some of our players back from injury. I know Hayward is like supposedly injured again. Like what else is new?
Yeah, that's just what I was about to say. Like
So,
I can't believe all the players that he's hurt. Wow.
Yeah, but I feel good about it, so we'll go ahead and take that.
All right, so it's back to me. I don't really like any of these other upsets that are left, so I am going to take a 1-pointer this week, and that's going to be Michigan over Purdue.
That's the coward's way out.
Look, I'm up by 5, and 2 of my picks were 1-pointers. So if I threw those at a 5-pointer that didn't hit, I'd only be up 3. So, I call it being smart. Yeah, you can call it whatever you want, but I call it being genius.
We'll see.
I mean, you had that. I mean, obviously your 1-pointer last time worked out really good, but that first time you took a 1-pointer.
Well, yeah, the first one I did almost didn't hit. That was scary, but
they should have lost.
That ended up being a huge sweat in that game. But I don't think Michigan's going to have any problems with Purdue. I'll be shocked after the way they dismantled Ohio State.
I know Corum's having season-ending knee surgery, but I mean it's Purdue, so
yeah, they're not. They'll be fine.
Alrighty. So my last pick here, a lot of decisions I could go, and it's tough. I'm not in the 1-point position, obviously, but I think I'm going to go to the NBA with a 5-pointer. I don't love any of these, but I'll take the Magic over the Cavs. The Cavs let me down the other week. They blow leads and stuff. The Magic, they win these upset games. They'll lose to bad teams, but they'll beat some good teams. So you never know with the Magic. Hopefully they can. I don't think I picked them at all this year. So
Eric, would you call that a homer pick since Zach called
yeah.
OKC?
I'm not going to call it as much of a homer pick as the USF over UCF one, but definitely a bit of homerism in that one there.
All right, so I've got the last pick, and I definitely need to grab a 5-pointer. Not going to let that slip out. LSU over Georgia. No, I'm just kidding. Not
Hey, you got to go by what he says first.
No, you said it. It's on the record. We recorded it. Evidence.
So I know there's a lot of bad juju when it comes to doing this, and I know we've been struggling, but I feel like I can't pass up taking UNC over Clemson, even though it never works out, and UNC is on a 2-game losing streak, but, they haven't won an ACC championship since, like, forever, and, Clemson's also not as good as people that they got blown out by South Carolina. Well, they didn't get blown out, but they got beat by South Carolina in Death Valley last week, so give me the Tar Heels, and yes, I will agree that is a homer pick.
And Connor's got the screwing us over with the Jags losing and then 2 homer team picks. You got two North Carolina teams again, like two of the same state. So I'll see.
Yeah, but they're not in the same.
They're not the same
area.
city, at least. But
I was gonna say that's the difference. I don't have like like the Hornets and the Panthers. I got the Hornets and the Tar Heels are in Chapel Hill. So
Well, I would say that would normally be I think a good pick, but since you were the one who took it, I'm not worried about it. Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those things though that like if I watch that, I mean it's kind of the same with the Michigan Ohio State game. It's like if I watch that game and like UNC wins, I'm gonna be so mad at myself for not picking that. So like
I mean, and it's the last pick, so
that's also and there's nothing else really. I mean, like I might have been tempted to take Utah over USC, but like USC is in even more of a position than TCU. Like they really got to win that game, otherwise they're probably out of the playoffs. So like TCU could hold on if they lose, from what I'm hearing. Like I don't know if they're going to put Bama in over them, but like USC will be out.
Oh God, no! Do not put Bama in. Do not.
like if USC loses, Ohio State's getting that spot, so they have to win. But yeah, so this is our board here. Not going to go over it in full here, but Eric definitely going the more conservative route with the 1-pointer. Zach going more risky with 2 5-pointers, and here I go again picking all of the teams that I like. I don't know if that's a good strategy or not, but I also picked against Zach and Eric's team, so we'll see how
that's interesting because I know when that first started, the Lions were a 1-point favorite, so the Jags must have moved up. I don't know if it's positive news on ETN's injury that he's going to play, but that is a 2-point line change because I know the Jags were initially underdogs.
Yeah, it definitely was. It definitely was one of those. I always have one of those every week where I'm looking at these spreads and I'm just like, really? Like, I know the Lions have been hot and they're at home, so I'm surprised that. I mean, I know the Jags beat the Ravens, but I was surprised that the Jags were favored there. So, it's like a pick'em game anyway, though. So
yeah, it's a toss up.
If it was the other way around, I might consider. Well, I think one of y'all probably would have taken it if it was the other way around.
Yeah, probably.
I picked the Jags like how many times this year? Or like probably like 6 times.
But that's going to wrap it up for this episode, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the comment down below whether you agree, disagree with the picks. And stay tuned. We're starting to get down to the nitty gritty here. After this, we'll have 5 more weeks of picks before the end. So we're getting there. It's definitely
we're 2/3 of the way done. So
yeah, it's definitely a tight race here. No blowouts happening right now. So it makes for exciting stuff. But Zach, go ahead and give them the line.
Yep, guys. As always, remember, be clutch.
Bye.